Hey y'all, Gramma Rose here. I was inspired again, as always, by Jess Howard's of Roots and Refuge Farm. I know hundreds of thousands of people watch Jess and Maya and her family. But today I just got finished watching a video, and she was showing her roses, and she reached out and said she wanted to cut one of her roses. And it occurred to me that not everybody knows how to properly cut a rose. Now, this is something that I knew how to do when I was in elementary school. I think I mentioned in one of the intros that I did way at the very beginning that my dad was a seriously obsessed gardener. Probably because her last name is Rose, and he got the idea that he would like to grow roses and just went beyond what most people ordinarily do. At one point we had 250 roses in our backyard, and this was in the city, in a suburban backyard, 250 roses. And so when I was in elementary school, my dad was growing these roses, and like families do, they call their family out to help because it's more than one person can do, sort of like some of the things that I need help doing here because I just can't do it by myself. But my dad taught me how to cut a rose so that as you're cutting roses to put inside to make your house smell good or just to enjoy, you're actually pruning your rose bush correctly so the rose will grow the right way. So I've got my garden shears, and I'm going to take you over to a rose bush, the only rose bush that I have that's in bloom right now that I can cut the flowers because my climbers have already finished flowering. But I want to show you this, and I'll show you what to do, and it's going to take just a few minutes, so let's get on with it. Let's get back to it, and I'll show you how to do the rose bush. It makes perfect sense. If you think about it, how do you want the rose to grow? Do you want to grow it in toward itself, into the middle of it? Or do you want it to leave the inside of it where the inside gets sun and it's healthier? What makes more sense? Well, of course, it's kind of like pruning a fruit tree. You want to keep the center of the fruit tree clear of branches so it'll get more sunlight. Well, the rose is the same way. So let me show you how to cut roses. You see how long I've had these pruners? That long. I've worn off the plastic on this other handle. This is the side that your fingers go on, and I broke the plastic on it. I've had them 15 years at least. And if you don't have any Velcro pruners, they're expensive, but they are definitely worth it. And if something breaks, you can buy the parts. They are not paying me to tell you that. Okay, so let me take my camera over, and we will look at the rose bushes. Right in there is the cut stem where I trimmed off a bloom. There's another one right there. And there's another one right there. Now, what do you see that's similar? Do you see any similarities between these cut stems, like that one and that one? Back up a little bit and I'll show you the rose. There's the rose bush. And it's only got a couple of open flowers on it right now. There's several buds. Right in there is the first one. And where is that on the rose bush? It's on the right side of it. And this other one over here is also on the right side of the bush. So what we're doing is we're finding a bud, or we're finding a leaf that is on the side that you want the bud to grow in. So we want this bud. There's a bud that's going to form right here, and it's going to grow off this way. It's going to grow off to the right, away from the center of the bush. The same thing goes for this one. Right there. So right there is the cut stem. This is on the left side of the bush. So this leaf is on the left side. And you cut right above that leaf. Now the leaves that you want to cut, this one is missing a leaflet, but at least five leaflets, or maybe 7, but not a 3 leaflet. Some leaves only have 3 leaflets. Like I don't even see one like that right now. But you need to have at least 5 leaflets. And it's stronger. It is stronger. That's part of a stronger stem where they've got 5 leaflets. That silly dog. Kay, would you get out of there? Kay. I think he's found a frog. These flowers right here are about to fall off. Now, there's iris leaves right here in front of them. I'm just going to cut these down. It's not going to hurt the plant to trim the leaves down. Okay, now you can see. Now you can see the stem. So this flower right here is more upright. Or this stem is more upright than the other ones. So it's easier to see what I'm talking about. So there we go. Now, so you should be able to see these leaves very well. Let me reach over here. So this leaflet right here, the bud is going to grow right in here, and then when it grows, it's going to come out this way. The same thing with that leaflet. And don't know if you can see this down here, that one too. You see this leaflet and the other one down there. However, if you cut it above this leaflet right here, let me show you, that one right there, or that one right there, when the buds start growing, they're going to grow toward the plant, toward the inside of the plant, and it'll block the sunlight. Okay, would you please move? Baby dog, would you please move? He's not going to move. But anyway, let me show you. So I'm gonna trim this and show you what I'm doing. So I'm lifting it up, and I'm going to cut it right here. So I'm trimming at an angle, right, oh baby, a 1/4 of an inch above that leaflet, right there. You see that? So I've cut it right there. And that way, when this starts to grow, the bud is going to grow from this side and it'll grow out that way. If I cut it above this one instead, the bud is going to grow this way back to the inside of the bush, and it's going to block the sun. It's going to block the sunlight from the center of the bush. It makes total sense when you think about it. So if you have rose bushes, and you're cutting roses to bring inside your house, and you want a bouquet of roses, think about it, just instead of thinking about how long the stem is, think instead of where is the leaf that is going to make the rose grow in the right direction. And if it's too long, if the length you want makes it above a leaf that's growing toward the center of the plant, just cut a little bit longer to the next leaflet down that's growing the other way. You can always trim it off to the right length when you get inside, but it's more important to have your rose bush growing and be healthy That way you're pruning it and you're making a desirable shape as you cut off the roses to enjoy. And it's that easy. Simple. Now the next time you're out in your garden, if you have rose bushes and you want to cut roses to bring inside, think first before you make that cut. And if you cut it and you cut it the wrong way, then that's okay, but make another cut down a little bit farther and fix it. You will be happy that you did that later on, because you want your bush to be pretty, and it's gonna make it produce and produce and produce, and you're not going to have a misshapen flower bush. Flower bush, it's funny. You're not going to have a misshapen rose bush. It'll be lovely. Take that from an expert. I won't say I'm the expert, but my dad was the expert. And he taught me. So I learned from an expert a long time ago. So, bye y'all. See you next time.